Hey everybody, welcome back to the Geekdom, and today's video is not about opening stuff. It's about wrestling. I'm going to be trying to do more videos on wrestling, and I'm just going to call this time, Let's Talk Wrestling. And the subjects for today are going to cover this past weekend's shows and things like that. This past weekend was Father's Day, and we had NXT Takeover Chicago and Money in the Bank. Both were actually good shows. One was better than the other, but we're gonna get to that in a moment. First thing I'm gonna bring up is unfortunately sad news. It's the passing of Vader. Big Van Vader passed away today, and you know the WWE, the world of wrestling, everybody's lost another great soul that gave a big part to the industry. You know, people like Vader, the big guys, definitely set a standard for big people of the future. You know, I'm sure people like Mabel and or Viscera, Big Daddy V as he wanted to be called sometimes, rest in peace as well. You know, other big wrestlers, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, Yokozuna and things like that. I'm sure they got inspiration from Vader being one of those first big man wrestlers. He was very popular, and I'd probably say an innovator for big guys. Yeah, he passed away at 63 from pneumonia, unfortunately. I know he's been having a lot of health issues over the last few years, surgeries and things like that, and those were going well, but unfortunately, looks like pneumonia got the best of him. And he will be missed, so rest in peace, Vader. Maybe now we'll finally get him in the Hall of Fame. A little better late than never, but Hall of Fame 2019. Vader needs to go in, I think. But moving on from that, we're going to talk about the wrestling this past weekend. Starting off with NXT Takeover Chicago. I don't have a lot to say about it because it was an amazing show. As usual, when there's a takeover show, it just blows WWE shows out of the water. I mean, it was definitely, in my opinion, won the weekend, and I couldn't say any more nice things about it. It won, it won me over the whole night. Every match on the card told a good story, had good start, middle, and finish, and overall were good. But of course, the match of the whole weekend that I think was the best thing that nobody seems to be really talking about, that I can tell, was Ciampa versus Gargano 2. And how it just, even though Ciampa won the match, did he win the war? He got beat up pretty bad by Gargano, and he did squeak out the win, but I don't see this being over. I mean, Takeover Brooklyn, I think we're gonna have another Ciampa Gargano match. I'm getting ready to watch not Takeover. I'm getting ready to watch NXT in a little bit here after I'm done recording this video and talking about it. But like I said, I don't have a lot to say about Takeover because it was just a brilliant show, and I'm becoming more obsessed with NXT every week and every couple months with their takeover shows. From probably War Games on, I've been watching NXT since then. I wish I had started watching it sooner because I probably missed a lot of great stuff from past stars. When Seth Rollins was down there, Shinsuke Nakamura, Finn Balor, and the list goes on of great wrestlers that have come out of there. Maybe they haven't excelled on the main roster as much as they should, but that's a whole another story for another day. Moving on to the next topic, and probably the only other topic that we talk about, is the Money in the Bank show. Now, the show was good. It wasn't phenomenal, but it wasn't crap either. It's probably one of the better shows they put on so far this year, post WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan and Big Cass put on a decent match, even though Big Cass has been let go now and we won't see him anymore. Daniel Bryan was the one who put on the good match. Cass was there. He was a participant. It's probably, so I'm quoting other people when I say it was the best match he put on the main roster. Seth Rollins and Elias, that was the underdog match of the night. AJ Styles and Shinsuke was a really good match. It started out a little slow, but it picked up, and you're on the edge of your seat every time one of them got knocked to the floor, and are they going to get up? Obviously, you know that they're going to get up, but some of those calls were very, very close, and it's like, is it going to be Shinsuke? Is it going to be AJ? We don't know, and AJ walked out victorious. But the matches that kind of like got me the most was, I want to talk about the main things, the Money in the Bank matches. I don't want to go over everything on the show because it's too much time to talk about that. First one is the ladies' Money in the Bank. First, it blew last year's Money in the Bank ladder match out of the water. I know some people weren't too crazy about it, but compared to last year's Money in the Bank, it was definitely better. My one big issue was I didn't think it should have been Alexa Bliss to win. I think it should have been one of these other stars that haven't quite reached that pinnacle, or maybe they fell down, Becky Lynch, or there was a lot of talk about Natalya winning to build up to a feud with Ronda Rousey. If she had won her match earlier in the night, which, spoiler alert, Ronda did not win because Alexa Bliss won the Money in the Bank and she cashed it in. Now, I've been reading a lot about, watching videos, hearing people's opinions on it, and I understand it definitely seems WWE wanted to get the belt off of Nia Jax. They didn't want to do it through Ronda Rousey because it's still early. They didn't want to put the belt on her that quick. They couldn't have Nia Jax beat Ronda Rousey clean. And so Ronda Rousey won the match, but didn't win the title, obviously, because of DQ. So it's understandable why they chose Alexa Bliss. She did get the biggest pop of the night during the entrance to the ring, which surprised me. It's, Chicago crowd. She's a heel character, but she was over. Chicago, I guess is all I gotta say. And then what else I want to talk about, what I want to end this video with, is did Braun Strowman really need to win Money in the Bank? He's probably the most over guy on the roster right now, and he could easily have won a number one contenders match. He could have, if he's not going to be put in this multi-person match, they could have put him in it to become Brock Lesnar's next competitor. They could have given it to any of these other guys. That there were a bunch of first-time people in this match. Rusev's first Money in the Bank ladder match. This is Miz's, probably not his second one, but it would have been his second win if he got it. But it's been a number of years since he won the Money in the Bank. Finn Balor's first Money in the Bank. Samoa Joe's first Money in the Bank. Kevin Owens' first Money in the Bank. And any of these, no, it was not his first. I'm misquoting. But any of these guys could have been a good Mr. Money in the Bank, because they can use that prop to build their character, to become, the next Edge or something. Because Edge won that Money in the Bank, and when he cashed in, he just took off from there. Edge was definitely one of my favorite wrestlers, and that helped him go to that next level from being, a upper mid card guy to the top card. And this could have propelled, those Finn Balor's, those Kevin Owens, those Miz's to that next level that they are trying to get to. They're beating on the roof, beating on that ceiling, trying to get through. And this could have worked for them. Braun, it's like when John Cena won it or Randy Orton won it. They were already top guys. They didn't need the Money in the Bank. I don't understand, but, it's WWE's choice. They have plans. They know what they're doing. They know what decisions they're trying to make. It might disappointed it's Braun Strowman a little bit. The match still was good overall. There were a lot of great spots, but I would have preferred to see somebody else. I would have liked to see The Miz or Finn Balor or, hell, Bobby Roode. Who knows what he could have got. Maybe he could have gotten that and become, way too cocky and finally gone heel like he was down in NXT. I think he would have made a better heel than he is as a face right now, and that could have been the catalyst for that turn. But I don't know. We'll know soon enough. That's my thoughts. I'm done talking wrestling, and I will talk to you guys about other stuff soon. Remember to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. The links are down in the comments, the description below.